We need season 2 ASAP. Hi, hello beautiful people. I hope you are doing well and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today, it's been a while, but I am back with yet another review. And as you can see by the title, today we're gonna be talking about the latest Netflix South African series, Go! Let's get started. So, in a nutshell, this series follows this young boy named Lucia, who, is from like the rough, the tough, the township type of area in South Africa. And he finds himself getting a scholarship to this really bougie school, because the homeboy can run, okay? They even call him Bolt, hello. And he's on this journey, learning this new school and everything. But at the back of his mind, he can't fully settle into this new life of his because he's sitting on a secret, he's trying to not give in to the guilt that he's feeling throughout this entire series. So yes, if you have not watched the series yet, go watch it. First of all, it's not even that long. It's only 6 episodes, and each episode is at around the 25-minute mark. So you can literally watch it in one sitting. At least that's what I did. Now, for us who have already watched the series, let's chat about it. First of all, let's talk about the cast. Everybody executed their characters so well. I loved the cast. I also love seeing new unfamiliar faces on my TV screen every now and again. So seeing Usia, the person who plays Usia, I believe his name is Utanduletu. I know he has a nickname, but it's running from me now. But I was like, okay, new face and you are the lead. I'm set. And let me tell you, ate that character up, honey. I must say though that I think my favorite character in the series was Mandla, just because, first of all, the person who portrays that character, listen, he did the most with that character. But Mandla is he is the complete victim in all of this. All he did, guys, his only sin in the series is the fact that he got drunk at a party. And he wasn't even drunk driving. They say, yes, you must not drink and drive. You must have somebody, accompany you, take you home, whatever. All the rules were followed to the T. And yet he ended up being the one going through it and suffering the most in the series. Sia goes through it, because of the guilt and whatever. But Michael goes to prison, guys. Okay, he goes to jail. But you know what I mean. For what? For nothing. And who lands him in that position? His friend, who is dating his cousin. Every single time he came up on my screen, I felt so bad for that character because he is so innocent in all of this and he is the one going through it and suffering so much of the consequences. Also, I was so happy to see Xaba on my screen again. I was like, okay. But a part of me was low-key triggered because the last time I saw him was when he portrayed Ulanga on Gomora. And if you watch Gomora, you know how that character ended. And then you're like, okay, and then you see how Edwin fits into this picture. And you're like, it's low-key giving continuation to the vibe, The plot, interesting. The plot, in some parts, something we have all seen before. New kid, new school, trying to blend in, but life happens. We've seen this done before, with shows like Blood and Water. We've seen it with Youngins. It's a very similar feel. But then, you get this element of he's a runner, he's a track star, and on top of that, he's got this huge secret that he's trying to keep under wraps together with his brother. So I definitely loved that element to it, and the show was very interesting. The plot was thickening, Sana. The plot, listen, and when things were just starting to get together, secrets were about to be revealed. They're like, the show is over. I said, huh? And now that ending, I've already vented a little bit with that ending, but oh my goodness, what was that ending? And you know what, guys? I think that ending took me by surprise. And not necessarily the ending itself, but that cliffhanger. That is the cliffiest, the hangiest cliffhanger I had ever seen. And I was not really paying attention to the episodes as I was watching it. You know, like when episode 1 ended, I wouldn't make a mental note. Okay, episode 1 is over, we're starting episode 2. So it was just one after the other, just flowing into each other. And I was getting into it. I was sat. Listen, I was sat in my living room. I'm like, okay. Usia is about to be exposed for what he did. And then the credits roll and no new episode came on. I said, wait, I thought something was wrong. And then I went to go, manually went to go check. And I realized I had watched all 6. And that was the ending. That was the ending of the season. They left us on the cliffhanger. It's definitely going to take me a minute to recover from the cliffhanger. I need another season. I need to know what's going to happen with Usia. I need to know what's going to happen with the fact that Usia is living in Edwin's parents' home. I need to know what's going to happen with the fact that Mandla, Inyani Iapuma, and I was realizing Kuti, his friend, his beloved Chingu, is the reason he had gone to jail. I need to know what's going to happen. I need to know what's going to happen with Sia's scholarship when the truth comes to light. I need to know all of these different things. I need to know them ASAP. Therefore, they need to start filming a second season because I need answers. But overall, I enjoyed this season. I enjoyed this show more than I thought I would. Because I watched the trailer, but like I wasn't, actively in the trailer mental note with, this is what the show was about. So I kind of sort of went to it somewhat blind, maybe like one eye open. I love every second of it. I was in that story. I wanted to see where it was going. And I still want to see where it's going because the cliffhanger, I could talk all day about just that cliffhanger. So I'm going to just leave it here. You will let me know what you thought of the series. If you've already watched it, your favorite part, your least favorite part, favorite characters, whatever. All that amazing stuff. But that is it from me to you for now. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, switch on post notifications, all that amazing stuff. Until next time, stay amazing. Bye.